name is Payson McGill, and what gives me hope about the future of intercultural relations is that people are starting to get more educated in the subject and learn about other cultures and how to effectively communicate with them. With more people understanding other cultures, communicating with them is easier and there's much less prejudice and people are more accepting. Two events that I chose are eliminating the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and abolishing affirmative action. The first event that I chose is eliminating the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This is a very important issue that impacts everyone on the planet. The garbage patch is located in the idle of the Pacific Ocean and stuck between the west coast of the United States all the way to Japan. There's a western garbage patch near Japan and an eastern one near California and Hawaii. It's composed of non-biodegradable trash like plastics and things like that. And then when they slowly break down, they release chemicals into the ocean, and then they get to the fish, and then people eat them. So everyone is consuming the chemicals from the plastic. About 705,000 tons of the debris is fishing nets, and then a majority of the debris comes from land in North America and Asia, but 20% of it is from boaters, which is where the fishing nets come from. And also when ships lose their cargo and plastic things and other non-biodegradable things are in there. This problem doesn't only affect us on land, but every part of the marine ecosystem and life as well. None of the nations will step forward to clean it up because it would bankrupt a country because it's so big. So we need multiple or all countries to help and use intercultural skills to fix it. The next event that I chose is abolishing affirmative action. This is what the United States does to remedy the fact that minorities used to be discriminated against in schools and in the workforce. Affirmative action is where governments give schools and businesses benefits for having a certain quota of people from different races, different disabilities, gender, ethnicity, and age. I think it's a good idea that they had this a long time ago to make sure the minority groups had opportunity to get higher education and a job. But today it's not necessary because the country is so diverse and people are accepting of that fact and don't discriminate because of your race or gender. People should be accepted into schools and hired because of their ability and accomplishments, not because the establishment needs to meet a certain quota of people to get their benefits from the government. I think it was very important a long time ago, but it's not something we need today because our country has changed into a more accepting and non-judgmental place where people don't really care about your race or gender anymore. The two events that I just discussed previously connect to the term multiculturalism. Multiculturalism means different cultural groups coexisting together. It emphasizes equality, giving everyone equal opportunity, and appreciating their diverse cultures. This term shows how different cultural groups can coexist and be peaceful without prejudice. This term reflects the United States because there are many different cultural groups in our country, and it would be impossible to have a peaceful country without multiculturalism and their coexistence together. These events make me hopeful about the future for intercultural relations because with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, every culture and ethnicity has to work together to solve the problem because not one country can do it on their own. So it's very important that people have good intercultural communication skills so they can communicate and solve a problem together and not have issues with that as well. Intercultural communication is the only way that cleanup will be possible. I'm also hopeful for the future because of this and the affirmative action debate because it shows how diverse our country is now and now everyone is able to coexist and we don't need things like that anymore because we have moved forward as a country and that's not necessary. So we don't need a law that enacts quotas of minorities into schools and businesses because we already have that diversity and it's already in the workforce and in schools. And everyone is able to coexist in our culturally diverse country and there are minimal issues between cultural groups. I have hope that the future will only get better from here and we will soon have even better intercultural relations and the small fights and things will go away. It resonates with me personally because I wish to see the future get better for intercultural relationships because there are little things that people always get mad about, like I'm tired of seeing all the people fighting about nothing because they're from different races or ethnicities and have problems because of that. And there's no real problem, just that they're from different backgrounds. So I think when intercultural relationships will progress and there will be less issues because society is going to change along with that. These issues show a repeat of history, but not in a bad way. It shows it in a progressed way where there's not as many racial conflicts and everything's progressing to get away from that. And it shows the past oppression with the minorities that we don't see anymore and the struggles with the environment that have been there forever. And it does show that the future is better than the past because we've moved so far from where we were many years ago with prejudice and racism. It is signaling a shift on how intercultural relationships are changing in this country. They're better than ever, and now people are able to coexist and not have constant problems because of race and ethnicity. This gives me hope for the future since it has progressed so far and it's going to keep progressing farther in the right direction. It will continue to inspire more people and improve their own intercultural relationships because that is where society is moving to. When society moves and that becomes normal, then more and more people will follow. And that is why I have hope for the future of intercultural relationships.